Yeah, these don't really look as cool as Crowley's. Ah, that's better. Well, I promised it was coming for a while, and it's finally finished on the BBC, so Good Omens. This this was a mini series of 5 episodes that was based on a 1990 book by authors Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Following Pratchett's unfortunate death in 2015, Neil Gaiman decided to produce this miniseries as kind of a favour to his old writing buddy and friend. Now, I'll be honest, I've not actually read that much in terms of these two writers. I mean, I know of Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, and I do have family members and friends who do enjoy these two writers, but I personally have not read that much of their work. I mainly knew Neil Gaiman for his two writing roles in Doctor Who, i.e., The Doctor's Wife and Nightmare in Silver, I but everyone else would like this, so I thought I'd settle down and watch it. Now, as I said, this was a mini-series previously produced with the big streamer Amazon Prime and released exclusively by them, but then it eventually got picked up recently for a short run on the BBC, so we finally got to see it on television, and we all sat down to watch it. Now, for those who don't know the plot, I'll briefly recap. You've got an angel named Aziraphale, played by Michael Sheen, and a demon named Crowley, played by David Tennant. Now, the two of them, they're supposed to be mortal enemies, but they have, over the years and over the centuries, developed something approaching a friendship. I mean, I don't know if they necessarily classify each other as friends, but they've developed a kind of fondness for each other. But things become a bit more complicated when Crowley is supposed to deliver the Antichrist to a hospital where a group of nuns are due to switch him with the son of a politician so that it will ultimately grow up into the Antichrist, and then when he turns 11, he'll be able to end the world. But due to a bung-up at the hospital, the politician's son gets swapped with the son of a poorer family, and the poorer family get the Antichrist, and then it's kind of a race with Aziraphale and Crowley to find where the Antichrist is and ultimately put a stop to him, with the Antichrist having grown up into a young boy named Adam Young, played by Sam Taylor Buck. And as I said, while I'm not that big, while I'm not the biggest fan of the work of Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, I personally found this series a whole lot of fun. I mean, from what I've heard from people, the book of Good Omens is very funny, and after watching this series, I do kind of want to get hold of the book. I mean, of course I want to get hold of the DVDs of this series so we can watch it all over again, but I do actually want to pick up the book now and see if... I know there are some changes from the book to the miniseries, but then with any book to miniseries, any book to series, there are going to be problems and changes have to be made. But looking at this, I'm going to do this through kind of Doctor Who's eyes. I mean, come on. But there were a whole lot of people involved, a whole lot of actors involved with this that are... at least you're thinking, wow, there's everybody in it. I mean, okay, there are some British actors who aren't in there, but the ones that they do get in there are pretty noticeable. I mean, aside from David Tennant, who was, of course, the 10th Doctor for a while, and Michael Sheen, who provided the voice of House in the 2011 Doctor Who episode, The Doctor's Wife. In terms of Doctor Who actors, you've also got Daniel Mays, who played the worried father in the 2011 episode Night Terrors, Bill Paterson, who played the scientist in Victory of the Daleks, David Morrissey from The Next Doctor, Derek Jacobi from Utopia, also there's Rhys Shearsmith, Steve Pemberton, Mark Gatiss and Sanjeev Bhaskar, and that's just the Doctor Who actor side of things. But if Doctor Who's not your entire bucket, they also have got a whole load of great British actors, such as Benedict Cumberbatch as the voice of Satan, Miranda Richardson as a fortune teller and a rather kooky neighbour, Francis McDormand as God, which is pretty awful, Nick Offerman, Jack Whitehall and Michael McKean, who are seemingly descendants of a group of witch finders, which is they get some pretty funny parts. Brian Cox as the voice of Death, and Adria Arjona as a witch who, well, the descendant of a witch who kind of is trying to use a book of her ancestors' prophecies in order to find out where the Antichrist is. Now, the Antichrist, Adam Young, having grown up this way, he's got no idea what he's supposed to be doing. He grew up with a loving family, loving parents, and then he's suddenly given a dog, and is suddenly confronted by four horsemen: war, famine, death, and pollution, and told that he needs to start the end of the world. To which, this series is just a ton of fun, and I can't even begin to describe it here. Trust me, there are better YouTubers that could do a way better job explaining this series, but for someone who hasn't read the book yet, this for me is just a whole ton of fun and makes me want to pick up the book. I mean, sometimes adaptations from the books to the screen can go wrong, but this, I feel, is golden. This is a whole ton of fun. You see the actors you know in there, you see the ones who are new, and everyone just does a whole great job. But then they never lose focus that the main two people who you should be focusing on are Aziraphale and Crowley. And the chemistry they share on screen together is just brilliant. Just having moments of, we can't do this, and like, oh, shut up. So yeah, if you can find the book, definitely take advantage of it, but if you can watch the series through, I'd highly check it out. It's thoroughly entertaining. Well, there you go. My quick review of Good Omens. I wonder what the next big thing will be. Anyway, see ya.